everybody. It's not Ben and Danielle, Melick Adventures. Ben is sick because I was sick earlier and I got him sick. And so it's just going to be me for this video. But if you are new to our channel, Astro says go subscribe. And if you are returning, Rocky says hello. Today is a Max video. But first, okay, so this Max video, if you don't know what Max is Melick Adventures. Excuse me, what are you doing?
You recording?
Yes. Without you.
It's a Max.
Yeah. So, it is Melick Adventures collaboration series. And we do this twice a month.
Can I join you?
Are you still sick?
A little bit.
You can power through it. I think everybody can make you power through it.
Are we still reading?
Yes, you are still reading.
Okay.
Hey, I was doing pretty good without you.
That's not what I heard. Continue.
So we do it twice a month. And this is the second one of this month. And we are doing the Muppets. Or Muppets. Because I want to be because then the would be next year. So what are we... Oh, and everybody that's participating will be down below. So make sure you check them out. And... Oh, make sure... I forgot. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and comment down below. This is why we record together. Okay.
What's next?
So, what we are going to do, we don't have a lot of Muppets things, because I don't like the Muppets, but Ben does. Are you wearing your Muppets shirt that I bought you?
Yeah. My animal.
The animal.
Yeah.
I
went to bed with it.
So I'm gonna force.
You're gonna wake me up to record.
You got something on this book.
Oh well. Is it my turn to read?
It is your turn to read.
So, impromptu story time with Ben on a Max. We're not reading the entire thing. This is Who Was Jim Henson. This is a full series of who was kind of things, like who was people, what was 9/11, those kind of things. So this book is all about Jim Henson, like who he was growing up, the first Muppets, the table of contents. We're going to read the chapter called The Muppet Show.
Okay. So chapter
The Muppet Show. There's no chapter numbers.
Oh.
But it's on page 60.
It says chapter 6.
Chapter 6. Obviously, my sickness is affecting my eyesight. The Muppet Show. One idea Jim kept thinking about was a weekly TV show with Muppets. He wanted it to be mainly for grown-ups, but people were used to seeing the Muppets on Sesame Street and thought they were just for kids. In the early 1970s, there were only 3 national TV channels, ABC, NBC, and CBS. Jim pitched his idea to each one. They all said no. The only person interested was a producer in England. He wanted Jim's new show made there. Then later it could be sold to TV stations in America and around the world. Jim agreed. Around this time, Jim changed the name of Muppets Inc. to Henson Associates, HA for short. His company was making a lot of money by now, so he bought a second house for his family in England. He would travel back and forth between London and New York to work on different projects. The British producer wanted a different star to host each episode of Jim's new show. He thought that would appeal to grown-ups. It was hard to get guest stars. The first to say yes was South African actress-dancer Juliet Prowse. The Muppet Show was set in a theater supposedly owned by the Muppets. Each week they had to put on a new show. They joked around with a guest star. The star would be in a few skits. There were lots of funny problems and silly mistakes along the way. When the Muppets acted up, Kermit kept things under control. It was Kermit. It was almost like Kermit and the Muppets were copying what Jim and his crew did to create the TV show episodes. In the middle of chaos, Jim and Kermit were both good problem solvers, making sure things worked out good. Frank Oz said that Jim hardly ever got angry. If Jim was annoyed, he didn't yell. He would just start flipping the pages of a script he was reading or shift in his chair. In 1976, The Muppet Show premiered in the U.S. It was another hit for Jim. The audience for the show was mostly grown-ups, although plenty of kids watched too. There was a big cast, sometimes hundreds of Muppets. That meant lots of puppeteers. Once, there weren't enough puppeteers on hand for a crowd scene, so Jim asked visitors, janitors, and stagehands to help by holding one of the puppets. Miss Piggy.
She's not here.
Need Patrick Mahomes to do some voices.
Right.
Miss Piggy appeared on the first show and became an instant star. She was glamorous with blue eyes and long golden hair. She was pushy and knew what she wanted, to be famous and to marry Kermit.
Yes.
And she went after both of her goals, batting her eyelashes and giving karate chops. Frank Oz performed Miss Piggy. He thought that part of the reason she became so popular might have been because of the women's rights movement. As the puppet show grew in popularity, so did Miss Piggy. Not all of the Muppets were stars. For crowd scenes, and there's a picture of Miss Piggy on the page. Stop it. Whatnots were used. Whatnots were blank puppet heads. Different eyes, noses, hair, and clothes are added to give them personalities. Jim still performed Kermit and Rolf and did new Muppets like Dr. Teeth, the rock piano player, and Captain Link Hogthrob of the Pigs in Space skit. Together, Jim and Frank did the Swedish Chef. Jim worked the chef's head with one arm and did his voice. Frank Oz's real hands were the chef's hands. They had a great time. Frank would do something wild and unexpected with the hands, and Jim would have to think fast. Once, Frank made the chef toss a fake chicken through a basketball hoop. After the show was a hit, it was easy to get famous stars to come on. Before each show, Jim and the writers would meet with the star. Jim included Muppets in the meeting. This helped the star get comfortable talking to puppets. Right? Jim included his family and things when he could. The very first Muppets, his 15-year-old daughter Cheryl made for the show. An artichoke, an asparagus, and a grapefruit. Her older sister Lisa made a tomato puppet. Their fruits and veggies sang a popular song from the 1920s, Yes, We Have No Bananas.
Yes, we have no bananas. I don't know how that song goes. Bananas. Banana. Banana.
Do, 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 do.
Oh, yeah.
Banana. Jim also included skits on subjects that were important to him. One was about a group of forest animals hiding from hunters with guns. A favorite episode of his starred Harry Belafonte, who sang the song Turn the World Around with the Muppets. It was about people of all races learning to accept one another. By 1980, the Muppet Show was watched by 235 million people in more than 100 countries. Kermit had hosted The Tonight Show. There was even a giant current balloon in the famous Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. He and Miss Piggy were on the cover of Life magazine. Then, after 5 seasons, Jim decided to end the show. Why? He wanted to stop while the Muppets were still on top.
What?
If you excuse me, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Well, everybody, make sure that you check out everybody's video down below and make sure you stay safe, unlike Ben, stay magical, and keep Muppeting, collaborating. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Audible. Bye-bye.